All right, so reproductive system. I'll go through the male model first, then the female model. So males have testes, the white structures here, about the size of a big olive. They're housed inside of a scrotum, the sac that descends, and it descends so that keeps the temperature just right for sperm to be made, because 98.6 inside the body is too hot for sperm to be viable. So inside of the testicles, we'll pull this off in a minute and talk about the seminiferous tubules and the interstitial cells, but sperm are made in the testes, then they travel, they're stored in the epididymis here, where they mature, and then they travel up the vas deferens. If a guy has a vasectomy, this is what they cut. So you still make sperm, they just don't have where to go. And if they're not used, they just get reabsorbed. But you still make semen because the rest of the vas deferens will fill with the fluids from the prostate and the seminiferous tubules and the Cowper's gland. So we go up the vas deferens, it curves around, and it first passes the seminal vesicles. There are two of them that secrete the majority of the semen. And they secrete a buffer in there to neutralize acidity. They secrete some vitamin C, actually gives the sperm some energy. Fructose, again, gives the sperm some energy so that they can swim to the egg. And there's a whole list of chemicals that it secretes. You guys don't have to know that. And then past the prostate gland that sits right here below the urinary bladder, which again contributes to semen. This does about 60%, this is about 30%. And then last but not least, it's a little Cowper's gland, and I'll have to pull this off. So this is your Cowper's gland, which is also called the bulbourethral gland. You can't see the seminal vesicles here, but you can see the prostate gland, this little piece called ejaculatory duct. And then last but not least, that bulbourethral gland, or Cowper's gland, secretes the rest, the 10% of the fluid that forms semen, and it secretes what's called pre-ejaculatory fluid that cleanses the urethra. Because from here to here, out of the bladder, see, that's all urethra. And the acidity of the urine would kill the sperm, so we don't want that. So this is going to cleanse the urethra, plus it's going then to lubricate the glands of the penis for easier insertion into the female's vagina. The entire penis has what we call erectile tissue that engorges with blood. You can learn the names of all that stuff later on. We're looking inside the testes here. Those are the seminiferous tubules in here that are making the sperm. You also have interstitial cells that make testosterone. You guys need to know the hormones that dictate formation of sperm is FSH in a male. To make testosterone, the interstitial cells, is LH. The testicle itself secretes testosterone then from the interstitial cells. And that's it for the male. Let's go to the female. So in the female here, of course, this little yellow structure is your ovary. And then we have the oviduct. They're pretty short. These little finger-like projections are called fimbriae. They help suck the egg into the oviduct. There's actually a space between them. We go down the oviduct and then into the uterus here. Now the uterus, if we pull this off, the uterus is here. It has that endometrial lining that is shed every month. That is build a new lining so that the baby, if it is developing, can implant in there and get nutrients, have a soft landing. At the base of the uterus is the narrow area, the cervix. It secretes cervical mucus that is thinnest when a female ovulates. It's thickest when you're pregnant to help stop any sperm. Here's the vagina, which is lined with the rugae. We only find rugae folds in the stomach and in the vagina. Here's the urinary bladder. You can see, so when a woman gets pregnant, it puts a lot of pressure on that bladder. And then at the base here, the vaginal opening here, You have the lips, the big lips, the little lips, labia minor, labia majora. And this is your clitoris up here. That's the female equivalent of the penis with erectile tissue. And that should be it. You could kind of see again the ovary there, the fimbriae, and the oviduct. That's the female reproductive parts you need to know. That's it for reproduction.